ultimate daily lightning session. So good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and you're welcome to our 24th daily lightning session, the very last one for the COVID-19 Peer Hub Exercise 1. And it's so exciting for me to see you who are here today. And I know that there are some of you who have been here all throughout the 24th session, and I want to say kudos to you. I also want to say kudos to you who have already deposited the final version of your project, your COVID-19 Peer Hub project. Congratulations to you. And to you who are working hard to ensure that you submit it before the deadline is met tonight. All right, so I want to greet Ebiere Herbertson from Lagos in Nigeria. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, Ebiere, and Dr. Iwon Jayo, that's Executive Secretary of the Federal Capital Territory Primary Healthcare Board in Abuja, Nigeria. That's the federal capital city. It's a pleasure to have you with us, Dr. Iwon Jayo, this evening. And as I said earlier, as you're joining in, you know the drill is to type in your city and your country in the chat, ensuring that your message is addressed to all panelists and attendees. And I want to say welcome to Dr. Imam Wadabelo from Kano, Nigeria. I see it's almost as though this session is exclusively Nigeria with a few drops of Ghana therein. Please do encourage your peers and your colleagues that are in the country, Telegram country group to join the session. The session is on and it's our final session for this exercise. And as you all know, we have our Q&A icon. That's where you get to ask your questions. If you click on the Q&A icon, you can type in your questions or your concerns on the chat, and we'll be delighted to resolve those. And I can see there's already a first question on the chat from Ada Khan from Kenya. Say, if my work was reviewed by only 2 reviewers, is that okay? Yes, Eda, it is not okay because it means there's one person that did not meet up with the engagement to submit 3 peer reviews. But don't you worry, it shouldn't stop you from moving forward. It is okay. What is required of you is that you submit 3 peer reviews. You submit 3 peer reviews, and you use the reviews that you got to revise and finalize and submit your project, your final project. So if you got 2 reviews, please don't stop working. Don't be discouraged. Go ahead and use the reviews from the 2 reviewers, improve upon your work. You can make use of the advice that you've received during this session from Dr. Francois Gas, improve upon your work and submit. So the slide that's on your screen now is just a gentle reminder of the certification requirements, because if you have reached this stage and you have been able to submit, you submitted the initial version of your project and you did 3 peer reviews, please do not miss out this the final stage, the ultimate stage, which is for you to submit the final version of your project. So don't hesitate to do that. Don't delay. The deadline is today midnight Geneva time. So we are just about 6 hours away, just a little less than 6 hours away to the deadline for submission of the project. If you have not yet done so, please don't delay. Go ahead and do so. And I want to greet Eileen, that's joining us from Kenya, and also Joyce Washira, that's from Kenya. I see Kenya is strongly represented today. Also Joseph Ngugi, that's joining from Kenya, Muranga. So pleasure to have you with us today. All right, so I have been speaking, and I was just reminding us earlier on that the requirements for certifications, because make sure if you have gone through and you have reached this stage, then you should do everything that's necessary for you to get your certificate. And good evening to you too, Effiong Udobong from Nigeria. Pleasure to have you with us today. So now is the time for you to do the talking, because throughout these sessions, Francois and myself, we have been doing most of the talking, even though we have had scholars really present, share their experiences, tell us how they were doing with their projects, and also how they viewed, how they reviewed the projects of other scholars, and everything to share the ups and downs and the positives about and the negatives about the exercise and their project. So today we really want you to tell us how it has been over the past, we have had 24 sessions, over the past 23 sessions. How has been your experience of the COVID-19 Peer Hub Exercise 1? You know, but you have to first of all start by telling us if you have been able to submit your final project, and if not, will you be able to do so before the deadline tonight? And then we want to know what has been the most helpful lesson that you have learned while drawing up your project during this exercise. What has been the most useful lesson to you? What helped you to really elaborate your project in a way that you are satisfied with the final product today? And we also want to know what you have learned during this exercise that will be most helpful to you in your place of work. Because remember, our objective from the outset was we really wanted to share ideas, for you to gain ideas on how to maintain or improve upon immunization service delivery within the context of COVID-19. You know, COVID-19 impacted, shook the world and affected the way we work, affected immunization services and all other healthcare delivery services. And we really wanted to make our little difference where we are as far as that is concerned. So I'd like to invite you right now, if you are in the room and you want to share with us your experience, please will you just raise your hand, and it will be a pleasure for me to invite you to unmute yourself and go ahead to answer the questions that we have pasted on the chat. And also, if you are having any difficulty, if you are yet to submit your project and you're having any difficulty, don't hesitate to make your request known right now. Don't hesitate to share your difficulty with us, like Ada Khan did a few minutes ago, and we'll be delighted to show you the way out and how we'll be able to help you. And I'm also delighted to greet Halima Toro, that's joining from Nigeria, a regular attendee in our sessions. Mercy A. Onu Peters, watching from Nigeria. It's always a pleasure to have you with us, Mercy. And also Lizzie Igbine from Niwafa, Abuja, Nigeria. Always a pleasure having you with us in these sessions. So I'm waiting for raised hands, but at the same time, I'm just giving you all the possibility to unmute yourself and attempt, just tell us. It's not really, we just really want to know how you found the Peer Hub, if it was, how useful it was for you as far as writing your project was concerned, and also if what you have learned as a lesson that will be useful to you in your day-to-day work. So if most of you are noticing that I'm just asking you to unmute yourself, it's because I want you to share with us. So Dorothy Logedi, good afternoon. Hi, Dorothy.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm okay.
So please, can you remind us who you are and where you work?
I'm Dorothy Logedi, coming from Kenya.
All right. So Dorothy, have you submitted your final project?
Yes, I submitted it.
All right. Congratulations to you. So we just want to know, what was the most useful lesson to you in the exercise while you were drawing or while you were writing your project? You know, what did you learn that helps you to write your project?
Pardon?
The questions, I don't know if you're seeing the questions on the screen. We want to know, what was the most helpful lesson that you learned from participating in the Peer Hub that helped you to write your project?
What helped me to write my project? First, from the ideas, from the engine ideas, there were so many ideas which helped me to finalize my project.
Okay.
Second, from the review. The peer review, it was reviewed, and the comments I was given made me to rewrite what was useful to my project, and made it easy such that I had to submit it as fast as possible. Another one, from the review, I got many points from my peer review, how I should reframe mine so that it can be local project which can be useful to my sub-county. Hello?
Yes, okay, thank you. Thank you, Dorothy. And then I have one last question for you. What have you learned in this exercise that will be most helpful to you in your place of work, in your day-to-day work?
What I've learned is a lot from my fellow peer, from the engine, how, especially in this era of COVID, how the healthcare workers we should do so that the immunization should continue, how we can create so that the immunization can continue and we get the coverage.
All right, so
hello.
Yes, thank you very much, Dorothy. Francois, you wanted to say something?
No, I wanted just to say thank you and to have been highlighting what you really found helpful, which are the finding ideas to help your work, and the peer review and how to move to your coverage. One question I had, I wanted to know, is this project going to happen or not? Or if not, why? Are you going to move with this project in concrete and execute it, or not really? What's your view on this project?
My view, because my project really touches the immunization
Yeah.
in my sub-county.
Mm-hmm.
So how I wish I should implement it so that it can have an impact to my performance.
And you feel you can implement it now?
I feel I can implement it, but what might bring resources is what might delay me to implement it.
What are you missing to implement
support,
it?
I mean.
What? I didn't hear your last comment. What did you miss to implement it?
I'm saying I really wish to implement it.
Yes.
But maybe support might delay me to implement.
So your problem is resource constraint to implement your project. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, Francois, and thank you, Dorothy. And I'm going to invite Joseph. Joseph, please, can you unmute yourself and you have the floor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Evening.
Good afternoon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm Joseph.
evening.
I'm Joseph Gogi from Kenya, Murang'a County. And
okay.
yes.
So please go ahead, Joseph. The questions are there on the screen.
Yeah, and I submitted my final project today. And
congratulations.
thank you. And what I've learned in the projects, first I learned about the IT myself, how to maneuver in the IT, and also the collaborating with the others, from my country, the other countries, particularly Nigeria. I've learned a lot from them. And also learning from friends like Mother, I've learned a lot from her. She has been assisting us for long. I really appreciate those, and even the others and everybody. The lesson I've learned is how to use the IT, and the idea agent has also helped me a lot. And also even the peer review was so good to me and to my friends. Thank you.
All right, so thanks to you too, Joseph, for sharing that with us. And we are glad to learn that really we're getting the constant feedback about the peer review process, and then the support sessions, and also the remote coffee exercise. So thank you, Joseph. I'm seeing there is Effion Udobong that said on the chat, please, I want to know if Geneva Learning Foundation will recommend the projects to funders for implementation. All right. Ufong Udobong, remember, if you look at the rubric for the project, it was actually encouraging you to come up with a project that you can implement in your context, but you can also use that project as an advocacy tool. That you can present maybe to potential partners within your context that could help you finance or come up with resources that could help you to implement. I don't know if Francois, you have something to complete as far as that is concerned.
No, thank you, Charlotte. No, it's true. I think as a first step, we focus really on trying for you to do something useful with results that helps the coverage with the local resources available. You may, of course, some of you may have NGOs working collaboratively. You may have a district microplan. You may have some resource allocated to your district or your county. And I think if it's, you develop your project, I think when you have regular meeting, maybe I don't know if this is a process to try to get it co-funded or partly funded. And if it's not all funded, maybe you reduce your expectation and you do it in a certain number of communities or health centers, but you have to adjust to the local. Of course, looking for more resources is useful if you are in that position. Now, asking more resources from your government will be difficult because it's higher up, but at your own level, maybe there are opportunities you can take. I had for the previous speaker one question. My question was about the idea engine. You mentioned that you went into the idea engine. Could you explain a little bit, how did you proceed to get ideas from the idea engine? Can you explain how you did it? What was your process to get some ideas from the idea engine in practical terms?
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in the idea engine, I was just following the Jennifer Running Foundation. Then I opened the idea engine. Then I read it. Then I got the idea. I got the number and the name. Then I put it in the reference. That's how we used it.
But how did you choose? There's 1,000 ideas. Did you read them all? Or did you go through some of them that were close to your challenge?
What I did, when I wrote the information, I was doing information technology, use of information technology and skills. When I write it, then then the similar projects, it came to communication. Then the different ideas start coming out. Then I pick the best. That's how I did it.
Did you use a title, or did you go through all of them and find idea within what was written, the detail of the idea? How
No, I
did you
didn't go
pick
the
up the
details of
idea?
idea.
Just the
I went to
title?
sorry?
Did you use the title, or did you dive into the explanation on communication, for example?
No, I also went to the explanation.
You went to the explanation.
Yes.
And your entry point was on communication.
Yeah.
On the challenge of communication. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
All right, so thank you, Francois. Thank you, Joseph. And I see Ada Khan, your mic is unmuted. So please, can you go ahead, Ada?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all from where you're joining in. I'm joining from Kenya, and my work is just in front of me. It's ready to be submitted. Looking at the spelling mistakes, if there are any, I'll submit it immediately after this meeting. Then the other question is, yeah, I'll be able to submit before deadline in just a few minutes. And what I found helpful, the lessons I found is that I think we have a number of solutions to the challenges we are facing, even if there's COVID. Having looked at different ideas that have been put by different people from all over the globe, I would say that ideas are there. Some of them would need some resources, but there are others still which are doable, even with very minimal resources. And what I've learned is that nobody knows everything, because like my project, I would say I got some of the ideas from other people. That is from the ideas from the ideas engine. So yeah, I hope I'll be able to implement it.
Thank you very much, Ada. And that was the whole purpose of the exercise, that you'll be able to use the ideas, that we come and share ideas, and we see ideas in the ideas engine that can be useful and helpful to us within our context for the implementation of our project. So really, thank you for sharing that with us. I saw there's a raised hand, Abdul Sami Khan. So can you unmute yourself and you have the floor? And then there was also Daniel Dogo, your hand was raised. It's like we lost you because of internet. All right, Abdul Sami, you can also attempt answers to the questions on the chat. I've just posted a question on the chat. So if you can't unmute yourself, you can go ahead and answer the questions on the chat. So good afternoon, evening, Abdul Sami.
Hello to all. First of all, thankful to providing us the opportunity of the COVID Peer Hub. The most helpful lesson learned as I have opportunity of working for immunization, polio campaigns, and also work in COVID. The Peer Hub review motivate me to develop my project, and especially the ideas. I'm very thankful that I use the ideas engine where a lot of ideas are shared, and I search the most reasonable or the useful idea which is near to my project. So I choose one of best ideas, and it is very helpful me to develop my project. Still, I have not submitted my project, just fine tuning, and after finalization, I will submit. Basically, idea engine helped me, and the sessions, especially the lightning sessions, I have attended a few one, and the guidance provided by the seniors and the motivation is very helpful for us.
All right, so thank you very much, Abdul Sami. I have a question for you. Please, can you tell us where you work and where you're calling from?
Yeah.
So please go ahead.
I'm working in Pakistan for polio eradication. I'm working as an stop officer, DTF in Pakistan, province Balochistan, and also working for polio eradication initiative program. And in COVID from Feb, I've been assigned for COVID duties as emergency duties, as our routine immunization and polio activities were stopped due to the COVID, and we resumed our activities from July 2020, the immunization and the polio activities.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abdul Sami. So thank you for answering the questions. All right, so I'm just going to connect directly with Amsalu. Amsalu, your hand is raised. Can you go ahead and unmute yourself?
Good afternoon, good evening all, and thank you, Charlotte and Francois, for giving a chance. I have submitted my final project today, and it was a very, very great session starting from the orientation session to date. I interestedly follow, even squeezing my time. I'm connecting from Ethiopia, from Gondar, out of Addis now. So I'm going to hotel not to miss this session particularly. The enlightening session is really excellent, and it helped me a lot. The rubric video and then the document was great also. It's not long, it's very short, precise, and very helpful, which contains everything that is required. It's not boring document, but very concise, clear, and everything, it contains everything there. And what I learned and it was helpful was actually, zooming the document and focus. Focus demand sacrifice. So the enlightening sessions every day, I got to sharpen my project and to deepen my analysis, including the causalities. So this session was very helpful focus and to think its applicability and practicability. Just I ask myself, can I do this? Can I implement this? With whom? When? How? So it helps a lot to think those issues. And then I learned from this exercise many issues. Number one, there were very diverse ideas. And then few of them were very quality. And I also look at from the review and then compare with my own project as well. And there are great people who can develop excellent projects. And I learned from review as well. And then the Allen technical support, even though I didn't attend many sessions like the enlightening session from Alan's technical support, but it was very helpful when I was attending. And it was a very great experience. And I feel like I had this course face to face. And thank you so much for all facilitators, Charlotte, Francois, Shalini, and Rada, Alan, and every one and participants as well. And thank you very much. And over to you, Charlotte.
Okay, thank you, Amsalu. And it was also a pleasure to have you attend the sessions. And each time you had to present, it was always very enlightening and enriching. So I see the raised hand, Abraham. I'll just invite you to unmute yourself, and then you have the floor. I want as many people to share their experiences as possible in today's session. And so while we are getting Abraham to unmute himself, I'll just be reading the comments that are on the chat. Edakan says, yes, indeed, the lightning sessions have been very helpful. The team is very dedicated. Follow-up emails too, and Telegram reminders also helped a lot. Thank you, Eda, for that comment. Efyong Udobong said, oh, please, I also want to know if those wonderful ideas in the ideas engine will still be available there for reference purpose, or the foundation will retrieve them after the completion of the course. Efyong Udobong, the ideas are still there, and we do hope will still be there for reference purposes, and we will also try to look for a way to make them available, maybe in a much more easier manner for you. But for now, the ideas engine, the ideas are still there for you to be able to reference. I hope that answers your question. So maybe Abraham 2020, you raised your hand accidentally. So it's okay, but I really do hope, I was really hoping to have many more hands raised and many more people sharing their experiences or answering the questions in the chat. At least if the first two questions that just require a yes and a no, that if you have you submitted your final project, it's a yes or it's a no. And will you be able to do so before the deadline today? That is tonight, midnight Geneva time. It's a yes and a no. So if you could just type that on the chat for us, we'll be most delighted. And I want to thank Shalini for taking on the question that was on the Q&A from Lakshmi. That had to do with how to view the feedback that he got from peers and submitting the final project. So I'm going to continue with my exercise by allowing everyone that is in the room to be able to unmute and speak. But while I am doing so, I want to invite Dr. Francois Gas just to hear us listen to a number of scholars that have said how the sessions, the advice, the tutorial, the rubric have been helpful. So Francois, over to you.
Thank you. I don't have much to say. That I'm pleased to hear this feedback from the scholars on what has been useful and the most useful. That's how we learn how to optimize our support to your work. If we know your feedback. And I think there was the purpose was to have an immediate impact on what you're doing every day today with the challenge and of immunization and the context of COVID. There was, I think, a name to make sure that the project you develop, you are able to implement it in your own context with a resource or very limited additional resources, but you can do it or you adjust to the resource available. And there was, I think it was great to see a tendency that the idea engine help you to look for ideas that match your concept. The peer review was extremely useful to have a better.
Okay.
And I would think these are most useful. One thing also in the purpose of the project is to know a little bit better what have you learned that you will use in the future in your routine work. And this maybe we have not heard enough, but we look forward to have more input on what you have learned from this exercise that you can use in your place of work. Thank you very much for sharing all your views and feedback on what has. Thank you very much. I've enriched myself a lot with your comment and understanding your challenge and your context. Over to you.
All right. Thank you. I see two mics are unmuted. Dr. Daniel Dogo, if you can speak to us, please go ahead. And then after you, we are going to take Emmanuel Doku. And then I'll try to address some questions that are on the chat. Dr. Daniel Dogo.
Good evening. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
The network is terrible here.
So sorry to hear that.
Let me see how far I can go. My name is Daniel Dogo. Yeah, with WHO Nigeria. We're into routine immunization and SIA, that's polio eradication initiative. And with the team, Nigeria has been satisfied polio free. So that's that. Then for question number 1, I have not submitted my project yet. And then for question 2, hopefully I will submit this evening. Where I was having challenges is that I changed my LG, the LG I was using before, because the dropout rate was not that high. That means the challenge was not that compelling like the other LGs in my cluster. So I decided to change to a more compelling LG, ANCPA, which has a 8.5% dropout rate. So, and then fetching the data from the DHIS data platform in Nigeria now is not really populating. So I've been doing that since yesterday night. So hopefully once I get the data out to justify why the dropout rate is a compelling challenge in that particular district I have chosen. Then question number 3, comment of the, what was it? What was the most helpful lesson to you in this elaboration of the project? The most helpful lesson I really got was from the 3 reviewers that actually perused my job and came up with a series of suggestions that will really make my work worthwhile. And one of the input was that my data should have been represented in a chart form instead of just.
Please go ahead.
Just figures to see the impact of the COVID-19 on the dropout rate, which I'm still waiting to fetch the data for that graph. That's the only thing that is pending there. And then the other thing again, I learned there was the lesson there was from the reviewers too, was that I can actually make my action points, the details in a tabular form to make it more explicit, to have the who, the and when, and how, and then it was quite commendable from the reviewers. Then for question number 4, what I've really learned, lesson learned from this peer hub was I think it gave me a new technical perspective of actually developing solutions to day-to-day challenges. I think with this elaborate morning and evening lessons and whatever, I think we're more technically placed to solve issues challenges that might come up in our workplace. And then one other thing again is that the project in particular, project that I'm working on also is a very good one that can be applicable to any other district in my cluster or in the state that has similar challenges, and one could just adopt and then work according to the steps, the specific action, and achieve results. Hello?
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Daniel. Hello? Yeah. We are getting you, but the line is a little bit breaking,
Hello?
but I'm sure we got the most essential of what you had to talk about. So really thank you for braving the internet connection and sharing your experience with us today. All right. Oh, okay. Thank you, Daniel. So Francois, you know,
I think, I think he has summarized very well his feedback and what was useful. And what I noted particularly is that, and I congratulate him for that, was he changed LGA because he used the dropout rate, but the dropout rate, by looking at data, told him that he had to go to another place to be more relevant, because where he was planning initially, it was not a great challenge. And he moved towards a real challenge by looking at evidence and data. I think it's a great lessons learned that you base your challenge on some evidence. And so it's a very, and hearing that some technical skill have been burned and have been learned from him, like the peer review, and especially he said the detail actions. And I would say that in any project, sometimes the weakness is that we want to do something, but we don't break down in implementation step to make the action occur. And so I'm very happy he highlights this as something he has learned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Francois. And I would just want to read some of the comments out on the chat and thank those who have taken the pains to share their comments with us. I'll start by answering a question from Samuel Maloge Badieka that says, no, that he couldn't submit his project. No, could not submit mine. It's already said it's past time. Anyway, out, just to reassure you, Samuel, that it is not yet past time. The deadline is today at midnight Geneva time. I don't know which country you're connecting from, but if you are from West Africa, that should be at around, if it's Nigeria, it should be 11 p.m. Central African time. That should be about Ghanaian time, GMT, should be exactly 10 p.m. So please, I think what you should do is you can reload your browser and try to submit again. It's not yet late. And I want to read this comment from Pearl AK. Say, yes, I have submitted my final project. The idea engine was a great store of ideas for me. I learned a lot from other scholars' work. The rubric was a great guide for my work. I have learned to collaborate with you, the community, and other stakeholders to ensure that immunization services are not lagging behind. This project taught me how to plan and solve problems. The invaluable support from the panelists are wonderful. And I'm happy I got this opportunity. And we are happy you were part of this peer hub, or this hub, Pearl AK. Joseph Ngugi continues to say from Muranga, yes, I've submitted my project. I've learned to use ideas in the ideas engine, resources from other countries and peer review, which has helped me. My colleagues and panelists have really assisted me. What I've learned is getting solutions to problem, creating time, use of IT in learning and collaboration. Wonderful. We are so glad for you, Joseph. And Effiong Udobon said, have you submitted final projects? No, will submit? Yes, it's almost true. That's good to know. And the most helpful lesson, technical support from the technical team and constructive comment from peer reviewers. Okay, what have you learned? Teamwork, collaboration with each other, helping and supporting each other to succeed. So I want to thank you all for these wonderful comments that are coming from you. I see there's a question. Okay, yes, Samuel, we've already answered your question. All right, that was on the chat. Also, I'm seeing Hanatu Janada. Maybe you don't have the possibility of unmuting yourself. So you're typing in, it says submitted. It was a great learning a lot from other people's ideas. So it's been a whole pleasure for Francois, myself, and Shalini to share this platform with you for the past 6 weeks, and 4 times every week we've been together. And it's been a wonderful learning experience for us too, getting to get a hands-on feel of the experiences you're having on the field, and being able to listen to you, share your ideas on how you are continuing to pave a way and make immunization services work in the context of COVID-19. And we are grateful to you for sharing this time with us. I'm going to turn, just reminding that even though it's the last daily lightning session for the exercise 1 of the peer hub, please, if perchance you are not able to submit by 23:59, don't worry, just go ahead and try to submit the work. Just go ahead and try to submit. Just go, and you could also write to us if you have any difficulties, if you're facing challenges accessing a peer grade at that time. You could send us a message on Telegram or on or by mail, covid@learning.foundation, and we'll see how to help you. The recordings for the sessions are also available on learning.foundation. And I want to also read this comment from Rita Anaba that says, this is a great experience because I have learned to work with people from different climes to solve a problem. I have not submitted, but hopefully we'll do that before the deadline. It's nice working with you all. It's nice having you two with us, Rita. Halima Toro have submitted. I found the technical and lightning session recordings, video tutorials, peer reviews, and the rubric. Howard Tense, no, I have not submitted my work. Peer review was great and I got so much ideas from others, and the reviewers also did a great job. One of the greatest contributions to my work was from the daily lightning session and technical sessions. Thank you, Howard Tense, for your comments. I could just stay on here and with a funny smile on my face and just waiting for your comments to come, and then I'll be delightfully reading them. But we are 13 minutes over time, so I'm just going to turn to Shalini, who has been also supporting us greatly and supporting many scholars on a one-on-one basis to just say a final word on this final daily lightning session for exercise 1. And then we'll turn towards Francois Gas, and then I'll be delighted to close the session. So Shalini.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Charlotte. It's been a pleasure being here with you and Francois on these sessions. I've absolutely enjoyed every minute of it, and it's been really enlightening to listen to all the scholars about their projects and the context of their work, and how they define their actions. And I felt that with each session, I was learning something new, and my knowledge was also growing. So it's not just the scholars who learn, but I think that we, on the other side, are also learning along with them. So having said that, I would like to wish you all the very best. And I know that this is not the last of the projects. You guys are going to be back with us, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all very soon. And yeah, so I hope you all finish your project, but in case you do have any technical issues, do get in touch with us. Do not suffer in silence, and you can reach out to us on WhatsApp or Telegram, just or even email us. So that's it from me, from this side. Have a great evening. Over to you, Charlotte.
Thank you, Shalini. And I know it's quite late over there in India, so I wish you a good night's rest.
Thank you, and I wish you a good evening.
Thank you. Francois?
I think Shalini said it all. I think I love the fact that we learn from each other. I think we learn as much or maybe more than you learned from me. And I hope it was a mutual benefit. It has been for me, to understand your challenge and to be more clear on what you do to address those challenges, your commitment to do it. And so I really enjoy every session. And I'm glad that the process has been helpful to you, from the idea engine to the rubric to the session and lightning sessions. We always feel that from our service, we could have done more, but time is precious. You have a lot of activities. Sometimes I say maybe we should have, it was so interesting, we should have 2-hour session, but we have all our other commitment and not just this exercise. So I wish you a lot of courage and chance to implement your project, and looking forward to continue with the process and future exercises, and to meet you again. Some have been very faithful and were at every session, so really appreciate, and they always have contributed a lot. So thank you again to all, and have a very good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Francois. And I'm just going to say, as Shalini said, it is not like we are separating. We'll still be together, because on Monday, we're having the Global Assembly, and it will be broadcast live on Facebook. So I'd like you to invite your colleagues, even those that were not part of the Peer Hub. They can watch us live on Facebook. When the link shall be made available, please do share. Our Facebook page, Digital Scholar. So you can invite, because it will be all about you, showcasing the work that you have been doing over the past 4 weeks, and also the projects that you have come up with. So looking forward to seeing you on Monday at 5 p.m. Geneva time. So I'm just going to end with a series of messages that came in on the chat. Mercy Barker says, grateful to be part of this team. Thanks for the support. And Halima just said, okay, technical and lightning session recordings, video tutorials, peer reviews, and rubrics were very helpful. And Rita, when I had to say again, I also learned a lot from the technical team, especially Charlotte, to continue to encourage others without losing hope on them until they succeed. Thank you, Rita. And Halima also added, I learned from other experience and teamwork. Mercy Onu Peters, yes, project submitted was very helpful from the beginning to this time. Every session on these exercises on point. Everything I got from this exercise will be added and ready for good vaccination. Thank you all for your supportive ideas towards achieving good vaccination in this era. Bye to you too. And Ebere Herbertson, thank you, panelists and peers. This has been a great experience. Thank you very much. From Amsalu Shifero, it was excellent and very organized exercise. Hanifa Hamza, you guys have been great. Your efforts are appreciated. Thank you all for your wonderful comments, and thank you all for always being here from the start. I just wish you a wonderful and restful weekend, and continue to stay COVID safe as we endeavor to keep immunization services up. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And, if everybody could just unmute themselves and just shout a bye, that would be great, until I'm able to get Reda's hand claps.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
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 Thank you so much.
Bye.
That's wonderful.
We're ready.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.